Part 2 assessment. Task 1. Building your relationship with your clients, with your pregnant client. You'll find as you go through this process that it's not a theory assessment like all of the assessment in Part 1, but this Part 2 assessment is all about you starting to build your relationship with your 3 clients. 1 client must be a pregnant client, and you will have to arrange to work alongside a colleague or somehow work with a pregnant client. And 1 client must be a Pacific or Maori client. Depending on which client you then have a 3rd client, a case study client, and that client will be either Maori or Pacific, whichever one was not covered in your 2nd case. So let's start now with Task 1, and this is in the Part 2 assessment. Firstly, Module 2 online will have gone through all the ins and outs of how to start to build a relationship, how to communicate, how to record the necessary documents. So if we look at Task 1, Question 1, you need to provide a copy of the referral information you received. This document must show how you followed your workplace policies and procedures to accept the referral, process the referral, and record the referral. Now, we know that in each organisation you have slightly different forms, but it's really important that you make sure that every single item on these assessment pages is covered, and make a way so that your assessor can easily access each piece. So you need to have that acceptance, process and record information. For question 2A, it says you need to provide evidence of how you assessed your client. You probably used a specific form, or you can actually use the Inspiring Limited template. The form or forms you use must include each and everything that's listed. You can't just have some of the things included. For the purpose of this assessment, you have to have every single item. For example, the characteristics are age, culture and gender. You must have all those things. Goals, including what brought the client here today and their past quits. Needs, strengths, resources, level of tobacco dependence. You need to include 3 background factors about them. It may be cultural implications, could be the history of the client, social factors, economic factors, risk and resiliency factors. It doesn't matter which, but there must be 3, and the instructions clearly cover that. You may find you record some of this information on your first meeting with a client, and then you may find you record some of the information on the 2nd meeting with the client. Regardless, your documents must show each of these things. If we go on to section 2B, it talks about all sorts of items or issues and then asks, how does this affect your client? So these aren't textbook answers. You just have to tell the truth. How does this actually affect your client? An example has been given for you. Cues that trigger smoking for this client. The pretend example was when she hears a baby crying, she gets afraid of being a mum and instantly wants a smoke. So this is your pregnant client, and when she hears that baby cry somewhere, she goes, oh, I've got to have a smoke. So think about the cues that trigger this particular client. Remember, we're working with the pregnant client this time. The causes of relapse for this client, the chronic nature of relapse for the client, symptoms of nicotine withdrawal for this client. So we don't want you just saying what the theory is. We want you to think about the theory and actually talk about how this particular aspect affects your client. So you just write 1 or 2 sentences to describe what it actually does. There's a question, current impact on the client's budget. Or maybe the client's really finding it hard to manage finances at the moment. So the impact will be a big relief on her budget. So you go through each of those things and just tell honestly what the impact or the effect is on your client. When we get over to question 3, it asks you to write a few sentences to describe how you match the assessment process to the characteristics of the client. Remember, the characteristics are age, culture, gender, etc. Chances are you may use a slightly different assessment process for a client who's 65 than an 18-year-old soon-to-be mum. So how did you match the assessment process to the needs of the client? Just jot down a few sentences there. Then you need to think about the Code of Rights. And in this particular question, you have to address 5 of the Code of Rights. 3 of the rights are mandatory, and they include the right for dignity and independence, the right for respect, and the right for appropriate care. You have to write a few sentences about each of those 3, and then you're allowed to choose 2 other of the rights and write some sentences about that. Make sure you fill in which rights they are. Then in number 5, as you worked with this client, your pregnant client, think about how you listened to them and how you responded to them. Fill in the chart below with information to show what you did. And the chart follows, and it simply says type of communication and then question about what you did. So the first one is type of communication, your non-verbal body language. And then the question is, how do you know your body language was okay with this client? Tip: if your body language was not okay, the client would probably have done or said something. They might have got angry or left. So how do you know your body language was okay? And then in the box beside it, you just put your response. My body language was okay because the client was nodding and the client was agreeing with what we were talking about, and she seemed to sit in a really relaxed style. So just explain what it was. The next part is about paraphrasing and summarising. All of the tips for what these things are in communications are found in Module 2 online. So make sure you've gone through that in detail. And if you're stuck a bit, go back and watch some of those screens again. You can go through each of these different points and add what you actually did or do. And then question 6 goes on with, when you were meeting with the client in the initial assessment meeting, what emotions did the client show and how did you effectively deal with them? So just write a few sentences and say, she seemed really nervous, or she seemed really relieved I was there to, or she cried, or how did you deal with that? And then write a few sentences to summarise how well you think you've built a good relationship and rapport with your client. So that's question 7, and that finishes